Everybody, Brian Good here. Welcome to the Release Alert. First off, big thank you for all the notes and everything you guys sent. I really appreciate that in regards to my dad. I know he would have appreciated that as well. He's a big fan of weather, big fan of watching everything I would say every day and criticize me for it later if he had to. Also, I want to mention that the Frymire forecast, the winter forecast that a lot of you, like I did, clipped it out of the newspaper as a kid. The family still keeps the tradition on, even though he did pass away a few years back. It's on the weather blog as well if you want to get a chance to take a look at it. Some interesting stuff in February they have. Our forecast will be coming out Halloween night as scheduled. All right. Today it's quiet again. No major issues. Very, very pleasant weather. So let's skip right ahead to our next time that we have to deal with something, and that'll be Sunday. So fine weather until Sunday. Now, initially, it's going to be a front that will approach with some showers and perhaps some thunderstorms along this front. We'll be monitoring that. Don't see a lot of severe weather potential out of this. There will be to our west, where it's still charging to the east. There's a low pressure on the southern flank of this as well, and that combined creates a good setup for severe weather. For us, though, the front begins to fade on the northern part here, so we begin to lose a lot of the forecasting. So there could be some thunderstorms as we end this Sunday evening, but again, I don't see any problems with severe weather. But then the front will fade on the northern part of it as the low pressure to the south takes over. But it's going to become, we're going to be in the northern part of that low, so it's going to be more of a general light rain and drizzle, low clouds kind of a deal that'll continue into Monday. I don't expect a lot of change in our temperature, mainly just cloud-induced and rain-induced cool weather versus a shot of cold air. Until that low then has a chance to move away, and as it does, it pulls down an upper-level low that'll move in as we get into Tuesday. So whatever our low temperature is Monday night, Tuesday morning will likely be the high for the day on Tuesday, as we'll see falling temperatures and gusty winds Tuesday. That will then try its best to squeeze out what it can, moisture-wise, as we get into Wednesday. And latest indications are many spots will struggle to get out of the 40s into the 50s for highs on Wednesday. And there is enough cold air. It's right on the edge of the thresholds of being supportive of sleet or ice pellets. It's right on the edge. But I wouldn't rule it out either. I've seen these scenarios many times play out, and it's exactly what we end up getting. It's not going to be a big impact when it comes to that frozen stuff, so don't worry about that. Don't want anybody to panic on it. Just be aware that that's a possibility. Just again, a horrible reminder of what's coming down the road here for us. And then it lifts out. So then, as we get into the upper air pattern, let me show you both the GFS and Euro, how this is going to play out. You're looking at here is the temperature profile aloft today, instead of the surface pressure like I normally showed. You see the warm surge here. Oops, we get rid of my arrow. Hold on one second. Where you get the pink areas, it's the coldest of air. And the blue is kind of like, in between. All right? So, here we go with the GFS as we head into this weekend. You see as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we've got some cool air showing up here. That arrow was back again, sorry. Cool air showing up, but here comes the wave of cool air with the front that arrives here as we head into Monday. Notice it's something dramatic. It's all right. I mean, we do cool down. But this is where the upper low gets pulled down, and this is more dramatic, and that's the reason why I'm going with a colder forecast. You see falling temperatures on Tuesday here as that rushes in from the northwest Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the core of the 850 low right over the Ohio Valley. That's the reason why, again, if there's going to be any ice pellets or sleet that could develop underneath that, it'd be underneath that 850 as it passes on by. Then it will lift out. We have modest warming by Friday, but yet another front moves in. Now, the GFS is changing at times on the speed of when that approaches. The Euro is as well, as you'll see here in a second. It moves on in with some chilly air, and then it'll try to pull back out as we get closer. This looks to be the warming trend for Halloween, but maybe another cool blast right behind that. So we're in this repeating cycle here. Let's look at the Euro. Oh, I want to mention the GFS does have enough moisture for Great Lakes snowfall, depending on the angle of that low, which probably would keep it away from us. It would aim more toward West Virginia, would be the angle of the wind flow. So the lake effect snow machine would be a little more like that. But, and I think we'll have mainly sunny skies, too, for the weekend of the 28th. That would also lead to colder nights with a clear sky at night and perhaps a freeze in our area for that weekend. We'll be watching that. The wind may be the only caveat to that not happening. Now, here's the Euro. Similar setup for this weekend. It's got the warm air moving in. Here we go for the weekend. Here comes the front moving in as we get into Monday. You see it's just modest cooling, nothing major. Here we go with the cool down on Tuesday. It's a bit slower with it than the Euro of the GFS was, but it does bring it in. Here we go by Tuesday afternoon. Here comes that cold shot of air, falling temperatures, gusty winds. The core of it, just like the GFS really has, the core of the 850 low over us as we head into Wednesday. So that's why I went with the idea that we'll be struggling to get into the 50s, a lot of us in the 40s, and there could be a nice pellet potential out of this. It lifts out. Now, it does have the next surge of cold air dropping in on Friday into Saturday. of that following weekend, but it rolls it out quickly, and then we get another one on Saturday and Sunday. So that would then slow down any type of warming that would try to take place in behind that when it comes to Halloween that's waiting for us here. So they're not in full agreement yet on how next weekend will evolve and how the cold air. They do agree the cold air is coming. They just don't agree on how long it'll stick around, or if it's going to be multiple reinforcing shots or it lifts out. We'll work on that as we get closer. And it for the weekend stuff, it doesn't have much lake effect snow. In fact, it's keeping the warmer layer just thick enough to keep it mainly rain and not lake effect snow. But I think the GFS idea may end up playing out. So here is the other cold blast as we were talking about that was showing up, and that's the reason why I kind of went with that weekend, at least a chance for some snow flurries, maybe some snow showers for the Great Lakes. When you look at the GFS right now, I hate to look at one model, but just give you an idea. Here's the moisture profile. There is a bit of moisture around for some cloud cover. I wouldn't rule out that there could be perhaps some isolated sleet, maybe snowflake. It's iffy. Certainly more issue of it here. Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia. All right, that dry air I think here is going to be our biggest issue because the cold air aloft is going to be tremendous. And GFS highs, these raw numbers not always the greatest, but it's got 40s in here. Probably closer to 50 for a high temperature. But at night, it does have several 20s, and that's why I think we could be looking at least a light freeze, and some locations could go to a hard freeze. But the wind would be the key factor, and that the wind's light, and that hard freeze idea may come to fruition. So how I've treated it is a cool wave coming our way for next week, another cool wave around the 27th, 28th, and then we'll just moderate for now for Halloween and see how it plays out. That's how it all looks today. We'll see how it looks coming up for tomorrow.